You like intimacy? We all do. But here's the real question. What kind of intimate activities are Americans actually into? Hi, I'm Dr. Jocelyn, a board-certified urologist with 5 years of experience helping men protect their health, improve performance, and feel confident in their intimate lives. And today, I'm breaking down the top 10 intimate activities Americans are into, based on one of the largest nationally representative studies ever conducted on this subject. Now, before we get started, let me ask you, where are you watching from? Drop it in the comments. I genuinely love seeing this community come together from all over the world. And while you're there, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit that bell icon, because we have a lot more frank, honest, and supportive men's health content coming your way. And trust me, number 9 and number 10 on this list are going to surprise you. Let's dive in. Here's something I want you to hold on to right from the start. There is no single normal way to express your intimate life. Too often, men come into my office visibly worried. Is it normal that I like this? Is it strange that my partner asked for that? Am I the only one who does this? And the truth is, intimate expression is as diverse as fingerprints. What feels exciting, meaningful, or pleasurable to you may look completely different from what works for your neighbor, your coworker, or your brother-in-law. And that is perfectly okay. What this study shows us, more than anything else, is one powerful takeaway. You are not as unusual as you might think. Millions of people are exploring, experimenting, and enjoying a wide range of activities, most of them perfectly healthy, normal, and remarkably common. So let's talk about it openly, honestly, and without judgment. So where does this information actually come from? Researchers surveyed over 2,000 American adults, 975 men, and just over 1,000 women across every age group, ethnicity, and background. The survey was fully confidential, giving people the freedom to answer honestly about what they've actually done, what they genuinely enjoy, and what they think about. And while the majority of participants, 91%, identified as heterosexual, this still gives us a fascinating and revealing snapshot of what Americans are really into. As I mentioned, I'm Dr. Jocelyn. I've been a practicing urologist for 5 years, specializing in men's health and intimate wellness. I've worked with hundreds of men who worry they aren't normal, who feel embarrassed about their desires, or who simply need reassurance that what they're experiencing is okay. And I can tell you with complete confidence, most of what you think is unusual isn't. So let's normalize this conversation. Here are the top 10 intimate activities in America today. Number 1, traditional intercourse. Not shocking, right? This is by far the most common activity, with 88% of men and 91% of women reporting regular intimacy when they have a partner. Biologically, this makes complete sense. It's the most direct expression of human connection, and for many couples, it is the foundation of closeness. Emotionally, it represents trust, vulnerability, and genuine presence with another person. Practically, it's what most couples naturally default to. But the fact that it's expected doesn't mean it has to become routine. Position changes, open communication, and a real focus on mutual pleasure can keep this core activity fresh and deeply fulfilling, no matter how long you've been together. Number 2, self-pleasure. Here's one that always makes people uncomfortable to discuss, but let's be honest, over 80% of men and women engage in self-pleasure. In fact, in the last month alone, 64% of men and 41% of women admitted to it. Biologically, it helps regulate hormones, supports prostate health, and keeps function sharp over time. Emotionally, it reduces stress and helps you stay connected to what actually feels good for your body. Practically, it's private, accessible, and requires no partner. As long as it's not interfering with your relationships or your daily life, it is completely normal and, in many ways, genuinely beneficial. So if you've ever felt shame around this, I want to say this clearly as your doctor, you shouldn't. It is healthy, it is normal, and it is part of caring for yourself. Number 3, oral intimacy. Both giving and receiving are extremely common, with more than 80% of Americans engaging in oral intimacy at some point. Biologically, this is one of the most effective ways to create pleasure for a partner, particularly for women who often need this kind of stimulation to reach full satisfaction. Emotionally, it is frequently seen as an act of generosity and trust, a sign that partners are learning to truly please one another beyond the basics. Practically, and here's where my clinical voice comes in, infections can still be transmitted orally, herpes, HPV, and others. Protection matters, even here. Barriers aren't glamorous, but they are effective. The bigger picture is that oral intimacy is fundamentally about connection, generosity, and learning what makes your partner feel truly seen. Number 4, watching adult content. Controversial? Absolutely common? Even more so. 82% of men and 60% of women report watching adult content at some point. Biologically, occasional viewing can enhance arousal, but in excess, it rewires the brain's reward system, leading to decreased sensitivity and real struggles with function. Emotionally, it can create unrealistic expectations, training the mind to compare real-life intimacy to polished fantasy. Practically, moderation is everything. Adult content is not real life, it is entertainment, and it should be treated as such. Healthy intimacy requires communication, patience, and genuine presence, not performance. If you watch it, be mindful. And if you notice it's beginning to affect your real connection with a partner, that is your signal to pull back. Number 5, wearing special clothing or lingerie. This one surprises people. About 75% of women and even 26% of men admit they've chosen special clothing or undergarments specifically for a partner. Why does this matter? Because anticipation is one of the most powerful drivers of desire. Biologically, when you see your partner making a deliberate effort, your brain releases dopamine, the reward chemical that lights up your entire mood. Emotionally, it communicates something simple but meaningful. You are worth the effort. Practically, it is one of the easiest ways to inject novelty into a long-term relationship without any major conversation or planning. Sometimes, a little intentionality is all it takes. Number 6, sending intimate photos or messages. This is where things become genuinely risky. 65% of men and 54% of women admit to sending or receiving intimate or suggestive photos. Biologically, it taps into the excitement of anticipation and visual stimulation, even when you're physically apart. Emotionally, it can feel thrilling, secret, and deeply personal. Practically, and I want you to hear me on this, it carries real risk. Phones get hacked, relationships end, and images can resurface years later in ways you never anticipated. If you engage in this, protect yourself thoughtfully. Avoid including your face. Only share with someone you trust completely. And always remember, the moment you hit send, you lose control of that image permanently. This isn't about fear, it's about being smart with something irreversible. Number 7, reading erotic stories. More than 57% of Americans have done this, with women leaning more toward written literature while men tend to prefer visual content. Biologically, arousal is not purely visual, it is profoundly mental. The brain is the single most powerful organ involved in intimate experience. Emotionally, reading erotic content allows for safe exploration of fantasies without any real-world risk or consequence. Practically, this can actually be a wonderful couples activity, reading together, sharing what resonates, and using that as a natural springboard into real intimacy. Sometimes the imagination is more powerful than anything else. Number 8, intimacy in adventurous locations. Now we're moving into genuinely surprising territory. About 43% of people admit to having intimate moments in an adventurous or semi-public place at least once. Biologically, the adrenaline rush directly heightens arousal. Your body does not always distinguish between the excitement of risk and the excitement of desire. And both release similar chemicals. Emotionally, it's the thrill of the spontaneous, the breaking of routine, the feeling that anything is possible. Practically, it carries legal risk in most places. I'm not here to judge, but I am here to remind you to be thoughtful. Weigh the risk honestly before you act. Number 9, anal intimacy. Yes, and this is far more common than most people realize. 43% of men and 30% of women report engaging in this activity at some point. Biologically, this area is rich with nerve endings. For men, it can provide direct prostate stimulation. For women, its proximity to other sensitive structures makes it relevant as well. Emotionally, it can carry stigma, but for many couples, it represents a significant expression of trust and mutual exploration. Practically, it requires real preparation, generous lubrication, a slow and patient pace, and absolutely open communication to avoid discomfort or injury. If this is something you are curious about, educate yourself first. Talk honestly with your partner, take your time, and make comfort and safety your non-negotiable priorities. Number 10, playful impact. Spanking, here is the one that tends to raise eyebrows. About 30% of Americans admit to playful impact or spanking during intimate moments. Biologically, mild sensation and pleasure activate overlapping pathways in the brain, releasing endorphins that genuinely heighten arousal. Emotionally, it can be playful, adventurous, or deeply intimate depending on the couple and their dynamic. Practically, it is safe as long as it is fully consensual. Agree on clear boundaries ahead of time, establish a safe word that both partners will honor, and always respect each other's comfort levels. This is not about pain. It is about trust, exploration, and adding meaningful variety to your intimate life. So now that we've walked through all 10, here are the 3 principles I want you to leave with today. First, talk openly with your partner. Curiosity and communication are the foundation of trust. Ask what excites them. Share what excites you. You may be surprised by what you learn. Second, prioritize your safety. Whether it's protection from infections, digital caution with photos, or physical preparation, your health is always worth protecting. Third, explore slowly. Novelty can be exciting, but it's most rewarding when approached with patience, care, and genuine mutual enthusiasm. You don't have to try everything on this list. In fact, most couples settle into a handful of activities they truly enjoy together. The goal is never to check boxes. The goal is to create intimacy that makes you both feel genuinely alive. I want you to hear this clearly. There is nothing strange about you if you've tried some of these activities. Normal, never tried any of them, also completely normal. Curious, but hesitant? That is okay too. Your intimate life is valid. Your desires are part of being fully human. And age does not mean closing the door on passion, intimacy, or exploration. Some of the most connected, joyful couples I see in my practice are the ones who keep curiosity alive, whether that's through special clothing, shared stories, adventurous moments, or simply a deeper, more intentional connection with each other. So here is my challenge to you. Talk to your partner tonight. Ask what excites them. Share what excites you. And remember, it is not about doing everything on this list. It is about building intimacy that makes you both feel seen, safe, and alive. If you found this video eye-opening, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who would appreciate a little reassurance that they are not alone in what they experience or desire. I'm Dr. Jocelyn, reminding you that your age does not define your vitality. Small changes in awareness and communication can spark real transformation in your health, your confidence, and your intimacy. See you in the next one.